Classic Cinema listeners. I made a couple of mistakes really early on in the recording when Celeste and I were talking about Devil in a Blue Dress, and I wanted to correct those before you start listening. This is actually episode 25, and the title character is not played by Jessica Biel, but she is played by Jennifer Beals. So I wanted to be sure and let you know that so that in case you look up the movie by by Jennifer Beals or Jessica Biel's uh, character in Internet Movie Database, you will know which one is really in the movie. Thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoy the episode.
Hello, Classic Cinema viewers. Happy 2026. We're so excited. This is episode 24, and it's the first one of 2026, and we are talking about Devil in a Blue Dress with Denzel Washington, and it is a critically acclaimed movie, but it's also part of the Criterion Collection, which means that the people who choose those movies thought it was really an important movie. And yeah, so Celeste and I are so excited to talk about it, and welcome to our new followers. Thank you for following.
Thank you, everybody.
So the Celeste and I were talking about this a few days ago about we did not like the title of this movie because the Devil in the Blue Dress happens to be a character played by Jessica Biel, and her name is Daphne Monet, and to us, she's the victim in one of the victims in the story. And then I was reading about the author and the whole Rawlins series of detective novels that Denzel Washington plays Easy, not, well, his name is Ezekiel Rawlins,
right?
But they call him Easy. In the first book, Devil in a Blue Dress, Daphne Monet is a ruthless character. She's greedy. She is not a nice character. And when they made the movie, they decided to soften her and make her motivation for what she does. The motivation is love. She's in love with, and this is sort of a MacGuffin kind of a thing in the story. There's a mayoral race going on, and she is engaged, at least at first she's engaged to one of the people who's running, and then there's another guy that eventually they get some dirt on, and so it's this like fraught
so
race.
The guy that she's in love with, he's wealthy, and he's running for
mayor,
and this takes place in LA
in 1948.
In 1948, right after World War II, soon after World War II. And I love it because this is a film noir. It's done perfectly as classic film noir.
Yes.
And mostly what happens in film noir is you get this voiceover, a narrator.
Right.
The lead character usually narrates the film.
Right.
And so Denzel Washington his character is narrating this film. And how it starts off is he has just lost his job for unknown reasons.
Except that his friend at one point says, if you had just apologized.
Well, no, I know, but apologize for what? Like he says, I have nothing to apologize for, because you see that he's talking to his boss as he's telling him he's fired. He goes, now, wait a minute here. I show up every day. I show up early. I leave late. And the other guys don't show up at all, or they'll show up late, and they still get to keep their jobs.
Yeah, right.
I don't understand what's going on here. I'm working hard for my money. And his boss is like, just stop it. Just go. And he won't give him a really good reason why he's firing him.
Right. Now, but later, I think you kind of see, because that's just the first shot across the bow. Oh, I forgot to say, this movie came out in 1995. 1995.
Yep.
Okay, so it's kind of a neo-noir because film noir was popular between the 1940s and I think the 1960s. And now there are some other movies that have come out that are like neo-noir kinds of things.
Right.
And a film noir movie is it's like it's got dark themes. A lot of it happens at night.
Yeah.
Stuff
And
like that.
and it's, film noir also is a bunch of bad guys.
Yeah. And so
everybody kind of has this fine line of there's no clear
right
pure
good and bad
person.
Right.
It's this gray area that everybody lives in.
Right. And so we see the evolution of, or we see he's actually probably really like this. He stands up for himself.
He is very outspoken and totally stands up for
himself. And that might be really why he lost his job.
I think that's why he lost his job. Yeah, because he didn't have a problem. Here he is getting fired, and he's like, "Now, excuse me, why am I getting fired?"
Right.
Where normally they're, especially in that time period, and I think even still today, if you are a person of a certain culture or color, you're expected to apologize for doing absolutely nothing wrong.
Right.
And if you apologize, it's all good.
Yeah. Which is, I don't know. Okay.
Well,
hopefully we're getting rid of that, because
I hope so too.
It's really stupid.
It's I mean, really, that's exactly it. His friend later says, if you'd have just apologized, he goes, for what? Showing up to work?
I know, really. Yeah. Yeah.
So then everybody knows he's out of work, and he's bought a home.
Right.
And he's made it very clear that all these people, he's from Texas, right. But after the war, so many people moved to LA because it was the land of opportunity.
Right. And the neighborhood is, the lawns are beautifully manicured. The houses are, well, I think the houses might be new, because it's like a black neighborhood.
I got the feeling it was a black neighborhood that was specifically built post World War II.
Yeah,
because homes were aplenty, especially in the West.
Yeah.
Where I'm from here in Seattle, it was very much like that. Those homes still stand.
Yeah.
So I think that's the kind of neighborhoods that were created.
And the houses are beautiful.
Oh, they are beautiful. They're lovely. And they knew people were coming. Right. So they prepared for that.
Right.
But it's obvious a black neighborhood.
Right. And also we see the black shopping neighborhood close by too.
Yeah, and they have the black grocery stores and the liquor stores, and some of the establishments are made very clear are not legal.
Right. Well, like the woman who owns the shop that she has is legal, but upstairs is the illegal,
illegal goings on. Isn't it like illegal meats or something like that?
Yeah, too? And it's like a nightclub kind of thing.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So some of the people that are in this are Denzel Washington plays Easy Rawlins.
Yes.
And what's his name? Tom Sizemore plays Albright.
Yep.
He's so scary.
Yeah.
And
Albright. And Don Cheadle plays
Mouse, which I think is such a funny name, because he's not like a mouse at all.
No, oh no. I'm gonna tell everybody, this is the first movie I saw Don Cheadle in, and I saw this movie in the theater because I love Denzel Washington. And I mean, how can you not? And when Don Cheadle showed up, I was like, who the heck is that?
Right.
And the thing is, he's not necessarily supposed to look attractive. He's got silver teeth, but because Don Cheadle, like Shane asked me yesterday, he goes, well, is Don Cheadle a good guy or a bad guy? And I said, oh, he's not good, but he's perfect.
Yeah.
Because Don Cheadle does not miss a step.
Right.
I feel like he's a highly underrated actor, and he deserves so much more attention.
Yes. And the thing about Mouse is he is not a good character, but he always has Easy's back.
He's loyal. And that's just it, because when Easy starts to, what happens is Easy's got a friend who
owns a bar. A legal bar.
Yeah, owns a bar, and he finds out through Tom Sizemore's character Albright that he's looking for someone to help look for this woman, Daphne.
Right.
And he says he works for Carter, the man who it was running for mayor.
And that she was engaged to.
And she was engaged to him. And so he knows he needs money. He's 2 months behind on his mortgage. He's having a hard time buying food.
Paying his bills.
Oh yeah, he can't pay his bills. So his friend, he finds out through the friend. So Albright meets up with him. They set up a meeting, and he offers him, for that time period, quite a bit of money to find Daphne.
Yeah.
And he's like, the voiceover is so great. The narrative is like, you know, when you shouldn't be doing something and you know you shouldn't be doing something, but you do it anyway.
Yeah, like the hairs on the back of my neck.
The hairs on the back of your neck is standing up. And then he, obviously, because he's desperate, he's been going to, you know, door to door to businesses. He's been trying to find a job and he can't get anything. He's looking newspapers.
Yeah.
And it's
2 weeks. 2 weeks.
Oh my God. It's been 2 weeks and he's just like, what am I going to do? So he go ahead and takes his job, and he knows it's a dangerous proposition for sure. And of course it is. It's highly, and that's the thing about film noir. Film noir usually has about 25 different things going on all at once.
Right.
So with film noir, if you don't pay close attention, you're going to miss some storyline that eventually you get the connection.
Yeah.
Because I kind of equate it to, and I don't take this credit for this, because I watch film noir nights on occasion. But the guy that's the host on TCM says film noir is like spider web. And it's like the spider slowly building that web until it comes together and you see it.
Right.
And that's really what makes this such an amazing, you know, the director. I hadn't really paid attention to Carl Franklin, who directed this, but he's done some amazing work. And he and the guy that wrote the books also wrote the script together.
Yeah.
And it's an amazing
And there was
script.
I think there was another writer too, maybe, but yes. And I love that the writer of the book said, oh yeah, it's okay to soften Daphne.
Yeah, no, he could see why they wanted to do that, because it did make it a little bit more appealing, I think. And really, in film noir, there always is one woman that's the soft.
Right.
And there's always the other women, which there is a woman who's not soft.
Right.
And, you know, so Coretta, she's kind of soft, but not.
No, she's not.
She's a little shady in how she does things.
Yeah.
And now watching this again, and I think I'm pretty right about it. Coretta made money by not being a full-on prostitute, but that's how she made money for extra money.
Well, yeah, I think so too. But she also got money from Daphne.
Oh,
to
yes,
hide,
she did, Daphne.
To hide the thing that they discover, Easy discovers there's something that
through a series of many things. But at one point, Easy does get in some trouble, and he knows he cannot do this by himself.
Yes.
So
that's when
he still has his friend Mouse that lives in Texas.
Yeah.
And he calls for Mouse to come and help out. Yeah. Which in some ways, because Mouse is kind of this trigger happy. I mean, he's seriously, but also I look at it that Mouse was also in the war.
Oh yeah.
And I think PTSD. Mouse has serious PTSD.
Oh yeah, I think
that was unresolved because it's 1948 and they didn't know much about that kind of stuff.
Well, and because there's some, like, it's almost whispered that Mouse killed his stepfather or something back in Texas, and that Easy was part of that whole situation. And so I don't know if the police, because at some point Coretta gets killed and they nab Easy.
Eventually this becomes another part of that spider web where he spends this night with Coretta working on getting information from her, also having sex.
Right.
Because
Right.
Coretta makes the moves on him real quick.
Oh yeah.
And here they have just, her drunk boyfriend, they just put him to bed and he's like, what are you doing?
Right.
Your man is in the other room. Well, he knows he has to, of course he's turned on, but he also knows he's got to get information from her.
Right.
Because he knows, because the way Albright's behavior is,
That
if he
it's
doesn't get this information, he's in serious trouble.
yeah. Which
And,
unfortunately gets beat up more than once by the
oh my
police,
gosh, he gets beat up by Tom Sizemore guys and the
yeah,
police.
yeah.
Because back then there was no
Frank, Daphne's brother, we find out.
Daphne's brother.
She's passing for white. Yeah, he
Right.
gets beat up by him too.
Oh my God, he's getting beat up all the time. And it's interesting too how many times people just break into his home.
Oh my gosh, really?
His home, he's like, how are you keep getting in my house? You know?
Right.
Which goes to show you that door locks and stuff were not that safe.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I really am sad that this didn't continue to be a continuing story like the Raymond Chandler, or, you know, all those stories that, because Denzel Washington,
or
and
Dashiell
to have
Hammett.
more, even a lot of the Dashiell Hammett stuff. I mean, those are such great stories that they really made great movies out of. And
Yeah.
this continuing, I think, would have really been hugely popular.
Yeah, and Barry said, I might want to read the books. Now I looked,
Yeah,
and he
I
has
think I might want to
17
too.
books, and the last book, there's this little hint that maybe the Daphne character comes back in the 17th.
Well, yeah, because as he's doing this pursuit of trying to find her, and it's just a big mess. I mean, there's so many avenues of things, and then
yeah,
you know, he's trying to go back, and he finds out that Daphne has these connections in places that he had no idea.
yeah,
Because, you know, really, you can tell when the trouble first starts. One, he gets hired.
right,
Two, he goes to the bar, the illegal bar,
right,
to try to find her. And you can tell when he's asking people about her, they know who she is.
right,
But nobody wants to say anything.
right. And they know, because he's using a fakey name like Dinah or whatever, D names, you know. He's
yeah, some other D name, yeah.
well, I'm looking for this woman. Her name is this or it's that.
Yeah. But you know, then he meets up with Coretta and her boyfriend. What's her boyfriend's name?
I forgot.
Is it Dupree?
Dupree,
Yeah,
Dupree, yeah, or
Dupree or
yeah.
something like that.
And his other friend is Odell.
And his other friend, who's actually very grounded, a very nice man,
yes,
is Odell. And he's not got a huge part, but he is pivotal towards the end. So anyway, when word gets out that Coretta's like, oh yeah, you know, Daphne and I, we're friends. And we've been friends for a long time. And she leads him on to let him know that she's got information that Daphne left her privy to.
Right.
And he thinks that night he spends with her, he's going to get this information. And she even makes him pay for the information. But it's only partial of the information.
Right.
Well, as things start to go on, he gets in more trouble. Then one day the police come to his house and they tell him that Coretta has been killed. She's been murdered brutally.
Right. Right.
And it just they bring him into the station. They beat the crap out of him. And I think even the police know he has not killed her. Right. But you really get the impression that they're going to take whatever opportunity they can to beat people up. Because these two police officers are not impeccable in any way, shape, or form. And they love driving through that black neighborhood and intimidating people.
Right.
It's obvious that's what they're doing from the beginning. Well, after they beat the crap out, you know, we don't have anything on you. And he makes a deal with them. He makes two different deals with them to not be arrested.
Right.
And they're like, okay, you can go, but we're going to be watching you. And then not too long after that, he gets in some more trouble. And that's when he realizes, because Albright and his guys break it because she's not finding her fast enough.
Right. Although she does call him and he does go in the middle of the night to her
He
hotel.
does go meet with her at this hotel, and she
Yeah.
ends up telling him some really important information.
Yeah.
And then they realize there's this guy that they have to go find, who they believe is what is his name? McGee. They got to go find this guy, McGee. So
Right.
they get in the car to go find McGee, and they find that his place has been broken into and he's been brutally murdered.
And we did see a little bit of him at the illegal
He remembers him at
he
the
was
bar.
trying to get up to the
They wouldn't let him up there because he's white.
Right. Right. Yeah, right.
He's a
Exactly.
white guy. We're like, what do you want to go up there for? And the other thing that is important that we forgot to mention, when Albright hires Easy, he lets him know she likes to hang out with black men.
Right.
And that's what really leads him into going into that establishment. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to go where all the black people hang out and try to find her.
Right, right.
And
now
so
it's also interesting that Albright says to him, you can go places I can't go.
You can go places I can't go.
But exactly. The other thing I want,
and that is important too, because when this guy McGee's trying to get up there to the bar, they're not letting him up there because he's white. And so,
right.
You know, Albright knows these things.
Right.
And it's so interesting how that line is, black people can't make places, but either can white people make it into certain black places.
Right.
They know, exactly. Everybody knows this, right?
Now I want to stop for a second because I want to say something else about film noir. A lot of times, most of the characters are not telling you the truth.
Oh no, that is very true. There's always lies everywhere.
Or they're telling half-truths.
Yeah,
right.
Half-truths are always being told. But
right.
The thing I really like about Easy is he knows that.
Yeah, right.
He's got really amazing instincts. Right. And there's a scene after they go find, you know, McGee dead, and she runs off. Daphne runs off, gets in McGee's car, and drives away.
Right.
And leaves him there, and he's like, what the hell is that?
Right.
So he's got to get out of there too.
But he knows they were going to go get something from
right.
McGee.
They were. Something they think he had. She thinks he has.
But he didn't have it.
He didn't have it.
That's another one of those little spider web.
Another one of those little spider web things. Yeah. So it's soon after that he gets back home and he walks out and he sees that Albright and his guys are in his house. And it's after this that they threaten him. And but the thing that's so cool, again, he stands up for himself and it does not show them that he's afraid.
Right.
I mean, they got a gun to his head. They're doing all this threatening, scary crap. Bleep that out.
One really interesting, intimidating thing is Albright is making a sandwich and eating
he's getting into his refrigerator and making a sandwich, and the bologna's stuck in my tooth, and trying to act like he's a tough guy but casual at the same time. I mean, and I just think Easy is so great because he's just like, get the heck out of my house, get out of my house.
I think this is when Easy starts to realize that, maybe he's not working for who.
Well, and he does. He's kind of like, wait a minute, because Albright says things that he doesn't realize they're very telling.
Yes.
He's not real smart.
Yeah.
But Easy is really smart. So that's when he's like, okay, I got to get a hold of Mouse.
Right.
And Mouse is helpful, but kind of not.
Yeah, I know.
You know, I read one of the user reviews and he's a fan. This guy's a fan of the books. And he said when he saw the movie, and this is before really anybody knew who Don Cheadle was.
Right.
This really put him on the map. And the guy said when he's watching the movie and he's like, I can't wait to see the credits to see who the guy is that plays Mouse, because he's perfect. He's so perfect. And he's he's captivating. Don Cheadle, he brings it.
Yes,
he brings it in everything he does. Yeah. And I have an enormous crush on him.
And I know. Well, and I love the way near the end when they go, because Daphne's been kidnapped, and the thing that she was looking for, Easy has found.
Well, he figures out, because he goes to Coretta's boyfriend's house.
Yes.
Because they're friends.
Yes.
And you can tell he's feeling that Easy's feeling shame for having sex with her when he was in the other room. Because he is heartbroken that she has died.
Yeah.
And
they're both heartbroken.
oh my God. And because I don't think she was horrible, but she was, once again, this is film noir, but his friend is just so heartbroken and feels like, how could I have missed it? I was in the other room, passed out. I'm a fool. It's very obvious he has not emotionally recovered from this.
Oh, well, it's only been a few days.
And this is the other thing. He's crying.
Right.
And this is where you get a little taste that Mouse has empathy. Because Mouse is like, man, just keep crying. It's okay. It's okay, man. It's okay. You're going to be okay. And he feels his, gives him
he drinks with him. He drinks with
and he
him.
sits and he goes, I'm not going anywhere. We're just going to be here together.
Right.
And Easy's like, well, I got to get going, because he gets important information that there is something that Daphne gave to Coretta. And he said, Coretta gave me this Bible. And she said, do not let this out of your sight.
Coretta gives it to her boyfriend.
And so she gives it to her boyfriend. And he's like, okay. And he goes, I know it's important. I know she must have been religious. And of course, Easy puts 2 and 2 together and goes, oh my God, that important information is in the Bible.
I was scared now and sick from what I saw. Pictures of a much younger Matthew Terrell and children. Innocent, helpless, naked children.
So he passes out. As he's passed out, Easy finds the Bible and sees what is in it.
And it's really
it's super, super awful. And what he finds are these photos, because this is the other thing we missed. The other guy that is running for mayor is a very wealthy man. And Terrell is his name. And he picks up Easy one day and invites him into his limo. And he's offering him all this, hey, let me help you out. And when he gets in the limo, there's this little boy in the limo with, this is my nephew, he says. Mm-hmm. And you can tell Easy's just kind of going, what the heck is going on? And they're like, well, we're kind of driven you far from home. You want us to take you home? Nope, I'll get out right here and walk. Well, here, let me give you some taxi money. Oh, nope. He doesn't want anything from Terrell. He knows Terrell is not okay.
Right.
He's a scumbag.
Because it's this really icky thing. He tells the little boy, you go sit up with the driver. Here, give me a kiss.
Give me a kiss.
It's
give me a little kiss. And he's just like, oh no. Easy is so disturbed by that. And he sees now why it's such a big deal.
Right.
Because Daphne had this information and she wanted to give it to her fiance.
Yeah. And it's the thing that's in the middle that is going to change the thing that's the MacGuffin, the mayoral race.
Right. It could totally flip
Todd
everything.
Dropped out of the race.
Yeah. Carter dropped out.
Because they found out Daphne's black.
Right. She's a mulatto. And that can't be a thing because he couldn't be mayor because he would never make it.
Right.
So, but he doesn't know this. The man she loves, Carter, does not know this information. And at one point, Easy goes to meet with him. And this is where he figures out that Dwight does not work for Carter. Because he's talking to Carter and Carter's like, I don't know what you're talking about. Who's working for me for what?
Who's Albright?
What are you talking about?
Right.
Who's Albright? And he's like, wait a minute here. And he goes, but you know what? I will pay you money to find her and to get her because I love her and I want her to be safe. And I know something's not right with this whole thing. And she's messed up in something. She's in danger.
Yeah.
And I love the line. I love the line. This is what let's just talk about the dialogue on the script is fantastic.
Yes, it
Because
is.
there's a line where Easy's getting out of his car and he goes, I got a bunch of people peeing on my head telling me it's rain.
Yeah.
I just love that line.
I know. I love that line
absolutely
too.
love it. I just think that is so
That's
classic.
the voiceover.
The voiceover is total film noir dialogue.
Yes,
You know,
right.
but then he knows how he's got to figure out to deal with, you know, Albright. Now he's got information. Albright's not working for Carter. He knows he's even in more trouble. So of course he
Thank
shares
God
this
for Mouse.
information and says, we got to do something here. We got to change the narrative to Mouse.
Right.
And Mouse is like pulling his gun. What do you want me to do? You know, Mouse is just, he's ready for action, man. And so he thinks, because from the beginning, Albright tells Easy she keeps hanging out with this guy, last name Green.
Frank Green.
Frank Green. So he's got it in his head now, because it was planted from the beginning. Okay, we got to find Frank Green. Frank Green's got to be part of something going on, and he knows what's going on with her. Because when she escaped after they found, you know, that guy dead, he still doesn't know where she escaped to.
Right.
So it's still a mystery where the heck she's at, right? So he and Don Cheadle come back to the house, and once again, someone has broken into her house, and it's Frank Green.
Yeah.
And Frank Green starts beating the crap out of him. Once again, he keeps getting beat up, you know, and he holds this knife to his neck. And that is where Mouse saves him.
Right.
Mouse is able to get them apart. They put him in a chair to question him. And so horrible. You know, Easy knows Mouse is trigger happy, right? And he's like, just leave him alone.
Put the gun down.
Put the guns away. Well, he doesn't and shoots. They're just barely starting to get information from Green. And Mouse shoots him in the shoulder.
Because he has a hidden gun.
Green escapes. And he's like, what? You know? You tell me, you know, I'm doing stuff, right? I mean, he's just, oh my God, he's so great.
He's out of control.
Yeah, they're like, and he's like, man, I was just about ready to get information from him. So, make a long story short, what is so great about this film is, this is another thread about when the main character, it looks like everything is out of his control. And then all of a sudden, there's something that changes in the storyline that brings the control back to him. And what happens is he finally, because Daphne's trying to call him.
Yeah.
Like when they're sitting there questioning Frank, Mouse picks up the phone. He's busy right now. Click. Yeah. Well, he finds out it was her. And he's like, we got to figure out where she's at. Well, she ends up, once again, his house gets broken into, and it's Daphne. And she starts to tell him everything. And that's when she tells him Frank is her brother. And she gives him the connection of how they're half siblings. And that she's actually, her mom is Creole.
Right.
And
her father was white.
And the father was white. And that's why she and Carter can't be together.
Right.
But she loves him. And he's just like
and of course,
you know.
Of course, Albright shows up and they drag her away.
Oh, yeah. And they take her because they know, they're assured, because Albright isn't bright at all. I think it's hilarious, the name they're giving him, and he's not that bright.
I know. Right.
Well, that's on purpose.
Yeah.
He's just a thug. He is not smart.
Yes.
And so they take her away. And of course, he's trying to save her. And so he gets Mouse, and he's like, Mouse, we got to go save her. So
now,
they find out the original friend, Joppy.
Yes, who owns the bar.
Connecting Albright to begin with, who owns the bar. They got to go see Joppy, because Joppy knows more information.
Where they might take her.
They probably took her. This cabin.
I think this is really interesting, and I didn't remember this until we watched it again. that Joppy is the one. Easy finds out who murdered the white guy and who murdered Coretta, and Joppy murdered Coretta.
Coretta. Yep. He finds out.
He didn't mean
because he's so
to.
smart. No, he didn't mean to at all. He's been offered $7,000 at this point from Daphne to get further information before she gets kidnapped.
Right.
So they went and got Joppy, and he's helping them. Mouse is driving, and Mouse is like, because they find out Joppy accidentally killed Coretta. He's like gonna kill him. He's driving and trying to shoot at him and missing him, of course, because Joppy has scooted down into the seat, and Easy's yelling at him, stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it. We got to get more information, and we got to find out where we're going. And he goes, and we're going to get $7,000. And if you kill him, we're not going to get that money. And he's like, oh, okay, never mind. He's so funny. Okay, I won't kill him. All right, we're going to go get to the cabin. So they get to the cabin, and Easy goes, watch Joppy to Mouse.
Tie him up.
Tie him up. Don't kill him. Don't shoot him.
Don't shoot him.
Don't you dare shoot him. And he's like, okay, all right. Like, it's asking an awful lot for him to be restrained, not shoot him.
Right.
So anyway, he gets to the cabin. He's got some guns himself. Easy does. And they're torturing her. They are torturing Daphne for the information. And I don't know how she does it, but she does not give them any information. And he's able to shoot two of the guys and of the bad guys, and she's able to somewhat get away. And eventually there's a shootout that happens, and all of them end up dead. And Tom Sizemore, Albright's character, is the last one to die, and he and Mouse are watching him die slowly. He's slowly just losing his breath on the ground.
Yeah.
And Easy makes sure that Daphne's okay. He puts his arms around her and puts his coat on her. Any opportunity to take his coat off and see how beautiful he is good too, because they did that on purpose.
Yes.
So anyway, and he's really kind to her. And I think that's the thing she gets from Easy right away, is he genuinely cares about people.
Yeah.
She knows that right away, that he is a good person. So then I love it when he says to Mouse, where's Joppy? Oh, he's over there. And he goes over and he's dead. And he goes, I told you not to kill him. He goes, no, you told me not to shoot him. He goes, well, what did you do? And he goes, I strangled him. And he goes, what do you think I'm going to do when you leave me alone with somebody? Not kill him?
I
just
can't.
like, oh my God.
No, what he says is, what did you expect? I was going to tie him up and not have your back? I needed to have
your back, man. And he goes, what do you think I'm going to do when you leave me alone with somebody? Oh, and I love Easy's response, because you can see he's distraught.
Oh,
he does not agree with what Mouse has done.
No.
At all.
Mm-mm.
And the other thing that's important information too, they've got Daphne safe, but when Easy goes to visit with Carter, he says, Easy says to Carter, if I can get all of this resolved, I know you have an in with all the police departments around here.
Right.
Can you clear my name? He goes, yes, I will make sure they will never bother you again.
This is another line that I love from that scene when he takes Daphne to see Todd. And
Todd Carter.
He says there's a line, and a black person can't cross the line, but not even a wealthy white man can cross the line. And it's like he's really sad about it, because he can tell they love each other.
Oh my God, they're having a conversation, and it's so obvious that they do love each other. And that makes him sad that they can't be together because of that.
Right.
And he's watching her try to convince him that it's going to be okay. And, once again, without words, let's just mention the entire cast is stacked.
Yeah.
And it's great character actors that are in it. Like the guy that plays
Terrell.
He's an amazing character actor. He's been in Dances with Wolves. He's just done amazing work.
Yeah.
And So it's just layered with amazing. Even the smallest of characters are great.
Yeah, the guy that plays
know,
Frank is good.
Oh yeah, the guy that plays Frank is it's just an amazing cast.
Yeah.
And they
Even
did
the
and
woman
they
who
did.
owns the shop downstairs where she's got the
Yeah.
she's only in that one scene, but she's so
Yeah,
good.
and I knew I recognized her, and she's from The Fugitive. She played one of the
Oh,
FBI.
right. Yes.
I'm like,
One of the marshals.
yeah, one of the marshals. So yeah, so it's just all the web when it finally gets done is it's actually, once again, film noir is not supposed to leave you feeling happy and satisfied.
Right.
However,
except that this one does have a little bit of that.
It kind of does, but well, because Daphne doesn't get her man, but however, when all is said and done, he gets his $7,000 from her, plus he gets a very large amount, more money from Carter. So he ends up getting quite a bit of money from this whole.
Well, the $7,000 she gives to Mouse, and Mouse says, "I know you weren't going to take this, but
yeah, you're not going to take it." He goes, "But you got to take this, man." He goes, "You worked hard for this,
and
you deserve it." So once again, you see, Mouse honors him.
Right. I love what he says too. He goes, man, if you ever need me again, you just tell me, because man, you can put some money in a bleep bleeps.
In a man's pocket. And they hug goodbye. But I think the other thing, he ends up Easy drives Daphne to her brother's place, Frank's place.
Yeah.
And
I love the voiceover.
Yeah, and the voiceover is really great with this one too, because you find out that he actually, I think he's very attracted to her as well.
Yeah.
And he goes back to see if she's okay when things have cleared up and the police have got who they need and blah, blah, blah. But the police still drive by his house.
Yes, they do.
They still drive through that neighborhood.
They love to
and
intimidate.
Those two actors are great character actors too, that play the cops. It's just, like I said, it's a stacked cast that just, if they could have continued it, I would have been hooked on every single film, I'm sure.
Yeah, really.
But he ends up with quite a bit of money. I think when all is said and done, he might end up with more than $20,000.
And maybe he can even pay off his house.
I think he gets his house, because then Odell, his friend, who is a very even person, the one non-bad person in the whole film, they're sitting on the porch talking, and he says to Odell, I love this conversation. He says, Odell, how do you feel? He goes, when you've got someone that's a friend, but they're not good. Right.
If you got a friend that does bad things, real bad things, and you still keep him as a friend even though you know what he's like, you think that's wrong?
All you got is your friend.
And I love the voiceover when he says, well, Odell goes to church every Sunday, and I figure a man like Odell, I'm going to listen. And then he talks further how he and Odell keep meeting up and they play games together on the porch, and the pan out of the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Kids playing, and there's this one guy throughout the whole movie that is so hysterical.
I know.
He probably got some sort of mental disorder or something. He keeps wanting to cut everybody's trees down. He's always walking around with his hatchet wanting to cut everybody's trees, and he always has to stop him from cutting everybody's trees down.
And I want to know the backstory of that guy. I wonder if he has a backstory in the novel.
Well, I wonder in the books. I'm very interested in the books, but it's just so funny because he and Odell, I think, do develop. And if you read the books, it probably is true that he uses Odell as this guidepost.
Right.
But Odell says, what are you going to do? And he lets it very clear. He thinks he's going to become a private detective.
Yeah.
He realizes he found something that is like his calling, because he's good at it.
Yeah,
and he's
he is
really good at it. He's not afraid. He knows how to protect himself. He knows the lines he can cross and not cross. That this whole thing taught him a talent that he has. Mm-hmm. And now he knows he'll be protected from the police. Mm-hmm. So he knows he can do something that prior to all this, he would not been able to do.
Yeah, because one of the things is they show the newspapers and Todd Carter's back in the race
Back
and
in the
what's his
race.
face is out.
And what's his face is out because he gives, doesn't he give? I think he gives the photos to Daphne and she gives them to Carter in that
No,
conversation.
he pulls them out of his shirt pocket and gives them to Carter himself.
Oh, that's right. That's right. That's what happens. And Carter's kind of like at first going, what?
When he
He's
sees
like,
the photos,
and
he's
then
like,
when he sees them, he's like, I mean, he's horrified. And the thing is, you also get the idea Carter is not a bad person
oh no,
at all.
oh
He
no.
he isn't, and that's the thing he says to Easy. I love her,
Yeah,
but we just can't.
we can't be
It's
together.
not possible.
Yeah.
It's just not possible. So, you know, I know you and I, when we talk about these films, we pretty much tell the stories, but it's such a joy to watch.
Well, we only told part of it. I mean,
Well,
there's
once again, it's that
so
spider
many
web.
little,
You
spider
know?
web.
I mean, like
Yeah.
someone said in the user reviews, it's almost confusing but you have to pay attention. And I think in film we should pay attention.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think
And
I think it's something that is what we're intended to do.
Yeah, this is a movie that you could watch over and over again and get
Oh,
something
yeah.
new every
Yeah.
single time.
I mean,
in fact, Barry and I turned on the captions so that we could make sure to get all the dialogue.
I think that's a good idea. I kind of wish I had done that now too, because that's the other thing I like about this movie and really good filmmaking is overlapping talking. There's a lot of
Yes.
stuff because that's life.
Right.
There's
Yes.
always things going on where you kind of got to talk over it or whatever.
Yeah.
And you know, I have not seen every single film that Denzel has made. I think I need to go back and watch the ones that I have missed in the past because the reason why we talked about, you know, Sidney Poitier first and then Denzel is because Sidney Poitier influenced Denzel so much.
Yes.
And I don't have to explain why he was an influence in his life because of just the simple fact of the body of work and the impeccability of who Sidney Poitier is. And he was this precursor that led in an open doors for so many male Black actors.
Right.
And as Denzel has said time and time again, I couldn't have done what I did if it wasn't for Sidney Poitier.
Well, and the thing about Sidney Poitier is in every movie I've seen anyway, he maintains this dignity.
Yes, he does.
And he's a Black man, but
right.
you know, if he's disrespected by a white man, he's not taking that.
No.
And
right.
Denzel's character of everyone I've ever seen, every movie I've seen him in,
right.
is the same way.
It's exactly the same way.
In fact, I think it's interesting that in the Pelican Brief, that in the novel, he's a white man, but
right.
they used Denzel because of that dignity, because of that
right.
intelligence.
Well, yeah. I mean, you know, one of the things, and I know this seems so ridiculous, but I think people who are smart get it. Denzel Washington has a way that he moves and the way he walks that is that dignity. He has posture. He has good posture. The way he carries himself is all of those things. Yeah. And that's what Sidney Poitier, you can carry yourself in ways where it's that intangible energy that you know that person honors themselves.
Yeah. Right.
And that's what he does throughout this entire film. Right. He has a way that he carries himself that is very different. And some people back then would even go, why are you acting so white? You know, because he honors his own space.
Yeah.
And he does that by they show how many times people keep getting into his house and he doesn't want anybody breaking into his house.
Right.
That is another sign of his dignity.
Yeah. What are you doing?
You have not been invited into my space. What are you doing in my space?
Right.
And 3 white men break into his house and he has no issue saying, get out of my house.
Right.
What are you doing here? Even though they're at a place of threatening him. But that's the other thing that makes his character so important is you get the huge impression that he faced death. He talks about that in the voiceover. And he says it in a couple lines too. I saw people die every day.
Right.
I know what death looks like. I know what gruesome looks like. So I think that also gets him to a place where he's not afraid. He's not afraid to die.
Yeah, and I can't remember who it was. It might have been one of Albright's guys. You served because he had a picture on the wall. You served in the war?
Yeah. Like, how come you got to serve in the war? Which my impression was maybe Albright didn't somehow.
And maybe his men didn't.
Right. That they weren't a part of that, which, we know plenty of people that found their way to not make it into the draft.
Right.
So I'm thinking he may have had some sort of in to not get drafted.
Well, if
he dodged it or something.
If he was working for Tyrell.
I'm thinking he found his way out. Tyrell. Yeah.
No.
When he said that, I went, oh, he didn't go to war. Because, I think the only way Albright could feed his ego was tough guy.
Right.
When he really isn't.
Because there's that little scene when he first meets him.
Oh yeah, right.
He calls him up and says, "Meet me at this pier in an hour," and it's like it's in Malibu.
He goes, "Why am I going?" And he knows that's not a good idea.
But the thing is that Denzel Washington goes to the end of the pier. He's looking out at the ocean, and this white girl comes and stands next to him and starts talking to him. And these people that she's with, these guys that she's with, are challenging Denzel like he was hitting on her. Well, he didn't even say anything.
And she even said it. She goes, "We were talking about the water, the ocean."
Yeah, right. and then Sizemore shows up and he
does the horrible things to the
right. Yeah.
And that's once again where Easy's like, whoa, he is crazy. He's a loose cannon.
Right.
You can't tell what he's going to do to be tough, and he's just not really even working for Tyrell. Tyrell doesn't probably have the right kind of ins with people to even hire the right kind of thugs.
Maybe not
to be.
But the thing is that he is a more evil version of Mouse. Mouse is just a loose cannon in a way, but
Albright doesn't have
no empathy. No empathy,
no loyalty. That's very true. He is that contrast. If you want to talk about Mouse and Albright having contrast, that is a contrast right there. But
he does for money.
Yeah. And I think for his ego, because he wants to be a tough guy.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Which there's probably a backstory to that one too.
Could be.
And but that's the thing about film noir is you don't need backstories. That's not what this is about. It's not about hearing the individual stories. It's about just this big, dark underworld that people live in.
Right. Yeah.
And all the classic film noir, that's exactly what it is.
They're plot driven mostly.
Yeah. Yeah. They're not super character driven. Although I think the main characters, there's always the femme fatale. There's always the girl that's not, she's, riding the edge of not being a good girl. There's always those stories.
Well, the femme fatale is the not good girl. The good girl is, I forgot what they call her. But yeah.
Yeah. You've always got these things that somebody's got to be rescued somehow. Right. And you're getting hired for something that's not on the up and up. And
that it's dangerous, but you don't have a choice.
But you're put in between a rock and a hard place. Right. And then usually the rock and the hard place is they know your story, that you have done something in your past that hasn't been good, or you're hard up for money.
Right. Which I think Joppy knew that Easy was hard up for money and he would take the job.
And I think he knew he could handle the job, quite frankly.
Yeah,
I think he knew that Easy was a guy that cared and a guy that could handle anything that came his way.
He was smart. Yeah,
he's a very smart man.
Yeah.
And it's just really there's really no redeeming factors in these stories too much, you know. But that doesn't mean it's not something of value to watch. And that's
Right.
what this story, you know, great acting and great storytelling adds value to me.
Right. Well,
And
there is that one, the
valuable.
thing at the end when he and Odell are developing,
Oh, yeah. Well,
having
and
their
I think
friendship.
too, when they pan out, you know, like the several times that guy that wants to cut down everybody's trees, he has to go rescue this one woman's tree. And, you know,
Yeah.
he's pats her on the back. It's okay. I gotcha. You know,
Yeah.
the neighborhood is a community. And
Right.
it's a tight-knit community. And you really
Right.
get that impression, you know, when they pan out and all the kids are playing. And I did read in the trivia that Denzel's son, who is now
Right.
an
An actor.
a great actor. You don't see his face, but he's one of the kids playing in the neighborhood with the toy rifle, you know.
Yeah.
You know, so you know, that's a redeeming thing at the end, is that he's found his purpose.
Yeah.
He still has his wonderful friend Odell, and he kind of is the guy that can watch out for people in the neighborhood.
Yeah. Now, even though this didn't make super a lot of money, or maybe that's why they didn't continue it on.
I don't know.
But it has a 6.8 on Internet Movie Database.
Yeah.
And the Metascore is 78. And that's a compilation of all of the professional critics.
Yes.
Ratings.
Yes. It was highly critically acclaimed. The critics loved it. And, but you know, every director, every storyteller says it, you know, either with books or poetry or movies, timing.
Right.
And it just may have been a timing thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
But there's a reason why it is in the Criterion collection, because it deserves to be there.
Yeah. And I think it's still, I think people are still discovering it and thinking it's really great.
Yeah, because it is great.
Yeah.
You know, that's the one thing too that makes Denzel and Sidney Poitier so amazing, is they never pigeonholed themselves in any kind of one character.
Right. They didn't.
They could play anything.
Yeah, and Barry was saying, you know, Denzel said that he was never going to make a sequel, but then he did with the Equalizers. And I said, well, maybe it's because this one was going to go on to be more movies, but it fell through. And he said, oh, well, I'm just not going to do sequels.
Yeah, because he wanted to. The people that were involved in it, all the writers, the director, Denzel, Don Cheadle, you know, Odell, all the people were all in. They were ready to move forward in this.
Yeah.
And I think because eventually the Daphne character does show up again, I think they wanted, I'm not sure in the books if he and Daphne end up together or whatever, because he does go back to the place where he drops her off and he finds that she has left town.
Yeah.
So he wants to.
She had to, because.
Oh, yeah. Right.
She had to.
She had to. And her brother had to.
Yeah.
You know, they had to go find someplace else to be.
Yeah.
And I think he, you know, Easy understands that as well.
Yeah. Well, in the book, she's not a nice person, so maybe they don't end up together, and maybe he wasn't attracted.
Or maybe he finds out that she's been up to something else, and he's got to go take care of it.
Oh yeah.
You know,
I don't know, because I haven't read the books.
I haven't either. I want to.
That sounds like a fun thing.
A fun series.
Yeah,
I agree. I think it seems like fun. And now you have faces that you can put to it when you're reading.
Oh, see, that's why I like watching the movies first and then reading the books.
Yeah,
I did one time. I tried to count all the books and movie connections that I made, and I got to 75, and I said, I think I'm going to quit counting.
I'm really far into that.
Movies were classic movies, and it was really hard to find the books.
Please go see that. I mean, please just rent it. You can rent it. Do whatever you want.
Oh yeah, because
watch this movie. You will not. Like Shane was walking in and out when I was watching it. I said, Shane, you're going to watch this. He goes, I know I'm going to want to watch this.
Oh yeah,
I know it.
Great. Yeah, I mean, Denzel Washington has built his career on characters that they could be tough, like Easy's tough, but he's ethical,
Right.
And
well, and he's also built his career. I mean, he won an Oscar for playing someone who was not ethical in any way, shape, or form.
I know. I can't watch that one because I can't see him. He's like Gregory Peck's like that, Denzel Washington's like that, Sidney Poitier. I can't Chris Evans. It's really hard to see them playing a bad guy.
Although they do a really good job at it.
I know, but I have a hard time with it.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think it really kind of set the pace for some of his future films that he did as well. And the dignity is a huge part of who he is as an actor and how he portrays himself on screen. And, you know, there's a reason why he has won 2 Oscars. There's a reason why he won an Oscar for Glory, because this is another one of those, you know, Civil War,
I know.
you know, a Black man in the Civil War, and he has dignity.
Right.
You know, he does not let the white man keep him down.
Right.
You know, it's an amazing,
yeah.
his whole body of work is, and you're right. And I think the reason why he did the sequel to Equalizer, because
the 2 sequels,
the two sequels, I have not seen them fully, but that's good storytelling again.
Well, yeah, this is the thing about the beginning of the first Equalizer. It has a quote by Mark Twain.
Mark Twain. Yeah.
Something about the 2 most important days in your life are the day you're born and the day you find out why
you were born. Right.
Why
exactly.
You're here.
And you know what? That quote can go with this movie, because that's exactly what he figures out. He figures out through this whole mess that he's got a talent and a gift for something.
Yeah.
And he knows it can't involve being in the police force, because back then they didn't really want Black people in the police. You know, so he finds his own path.
Yeah.
and it's a good
because
path.
Protecting people, I think what he learns from this is protecting people is what he wants to do.
I think so too. And he's got to be careful. I don't know what happens in the rest of the books, but you know, you got to be careful where you use a mouse, because
yeah, because what he should have said is don't kill him.
Maybe he knows he can't always use him. He's got to be careful where he uses him, because he's so trigger happy.
Yeah, really. Yeah. You should have said don't kill him instead of don't shoot him.
Right. Oh my God.
You got to use precise language.
Well, because I think his plan was to make sure that Joppy was taken to the police.
Yes.
You know, he wanted to do the right thing.
Yeah. And he also discovered who killed the white guy, and he was gonna, I can't remember what happened. That's another one of those spiderwebs.
Oh my God.
I kind of forgot what happened to that
guy. So many things all over the place.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's please watch it. I mean, we say this all the time, but we talk about these films because they are so watchable.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So I think we'll end that there. And the next one we're watching is Gentleman's Agreement with Gregory Peck, one of my all-time favorite guys. In fact, he's such a favorite guy of mine. I have a signed picture of him on my office wall.
And how could he not be a favorite? Yeah.
And this one's about anti-Semitism after World War II.
Yeah.
And so we're sort of keeping up with the different race things, and then we're going to end with To Kill a Mockingbird, because that's an iconic.
It's iconic, and the thing is, these stories are timeless. The whole anti-Semitic stuff is, I mean, that stuff is still around.
I know.
You know, there's still this underlying in so many places. It's being taken care of. It's, you know, time always finds a way. We all learn more. Yes. You know, we figure out how we all can live together. It is happening. Yeah. You know, but there's still some stuff that happens that is this quiet bigotry that, wow.
Yeah. I mean,
you know,
yeah, and it's really well, we'll talk about when we see the movie, but it's an unusual way that, because he's going to write an article about anti-Semitism, and it's an unusual take, a way that he takes to write.
And it's very powerful.
Oh, it is. It's such a good movie. Okay, so if you want to watch Gentleman's Agreement before we talk about it and then make comments, that'd be great.
That would be great.
So
Please
we
watch
have
this
a
movie.
Facebook group, Classic Cinema with the Sage Sisters. Come join us there. And I'm unfortunately writing a book and doing a whole bunch of other things. So, and I have a book that's another book that's with beta readers. But I do try to check in there periodically, and we have some active members who say, "Oh, this is the classic movie that I'm watching this week."
Oh, it's so fun too.
Yeah, that is fun. So join us there and make comments here and invite your friends. We don't know how to make the algorithm make our channel go viral, but we don't care. We're glad you're here with us. So thank you, and until next time, we will say goodbye. Bye.
Bye.